Hi there folks, time for another game review now, and this time I'm going to look at a game in the Entertainment USA packaging. Goes by the name of Panther. So here's Panther's packaging, and first thing to note is, of course, this is an Entertainment USA packaging, so a little bit different to the usual Mastertronic stuff. At the top there, the logo's, well, it says Panther and it's got a panther sticking out the side of it, which is totally at odds with what the game's about, because as you can probably tell, given the city exploding in the background and the UFOs and the spaceship, this is going to be some kind of space shoot 'em up. And the spine has the panther with the panther sticking out of it again. And on the back we've got just confirmation that it is a shoot 'em up. Save the last humans on Xenon before the alien hordes turn them into a Sunday roast. 3D scrolling mega shoot 'em up with great graphics and unbelievable soundtrack, which we will see soon enough. And if we move inside, we've got screenshots. It's got that sort of isometric Zaxxon-esque perspective by the looks of things, and various backdrops which should make it fairly interesting. And inside we've got take the part of the lone remaining what else pilot in the Federal force under the attack of the city of Xenon. Yeah, usual sort of stuff, kill the aliens, etc, etc. Lots and lots of details that we don't really care about because the rules basically shoot stuff. In short, the game is won by piloting your craft across the landscape, shooting up the invaders and rescuing the silly personages who got themselves left behind. As I said, that's all you really need to know. And a bit more information about the landscape and the controls, loading instructions, and that's it. It's a very compact inlay for this Entertainment USA offering. Here we have a loading screen for the game, which doesn't reflect the 3D style graphics of the game itself. It's got a rather naff looking spaceship shooting at, well, something in the distance that I can't quite make out. So here's Panther, and there's no title screen to speak of. It's just got this text going across the bottom of the display there. As you can see there, soundtracks by David Whittaker. We'll hear that soon enough. Just want to point something out here in a second. That there says Buccaneer, which suggests that that was the original title of the game and it was changed to Panther by somebody at some point. Don't really know why. There's a mention of sculptured software. It had a lot to do with all the Entertainment USA games, as far as I'm aware at least. And as you can see there, it was designed and coded by Peter Adams, who also did Zaxxon and Blue Max for the Commodore 64, which were also isometric style shoot 'em ups, rather like this one. So, enough talk, let's get on with the game. And you start in this rather drab landscape. As you can see, it's isometric. Left and right moves you left and right. Pushing back lifts you higher up in the air, which makes you move faster, and the lower you go, the slower you go, until you come to a complete stop, and you'll see why you need to do that in a moment. So, Alpha Wave has been launched, which basically means I've got a baddie to shoot, which was nice and easy for the first one. As you can see, after you shoot a wave of enemies, sometimes you pull up against these little bunkers, and these little men run out, and you rescue them for 500 points apiece. Lots of them in this one, which is a bit like Choplifter, so it's kind of a cross between Zaxxon and Choplifter. Two classic arcade games. Just to mention, while I try and avoid this spaceship, about the player's craft. Reminds me really of a tin of tuna, which is not very space age or very cool looking. Tin of tuna with some kind of spinning thing in the middle of it. Oh, baddies. Must sap the baddies. You do end up not rescuing everyone usually, because the next wave of baddies comes along. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was even closer because I died. So, As you can see there, it says Phoenix Maneuver Complete, which basically is the start of your next life, but they spelled Phoenix wrong. Never mind, we'll let them off. So you can control your speed, as I say, by pushing up and down, which moves you higher and lower than the landscape. Obviously you've got to try and line yourself up with the baddies and try not to get shot by them, which is not going too well at the moment. Landscape's a bit boring, but as you'll see in a minute, it does change. So I'm now in the green landscape, which reminds me of a rather obliterated version of the scenery from Action Biker. It's rather hard, this game, because you do only get one shot at a time on the screen, and sometimes there's quite a lot of enemies. That and having to judge the right height of your craft and avoid the big spinny things coming towards you, which remind me of the glaive from Krull. A lot of things remind me of a lot of things in this game, as you've probably twigged already. So hopefully there should be another base coming along fairly soon to rescue some guys from. Here we go. So the closer you land to them, the easier it gets, and I've already got another wave launched at me, so that's the end of that rescue session. The graphics for the enemies are pretty cool. Although they always seem to be these flying saucer type things, not much variety there. So on we go again. And now I've arrived on a over the sea kind of landscape, and it's getting harder, the game. There's more enemies flying around, more things being fired at you more frequently as well, like that. Managed to dodge them though. Seems to have got into the zone after losing my first 3 lives pretty quickly. Another one destroyed, and you get oil platforms to land on instead. Same concept, you land on the platform, rescue as many survivors as you can until the next wave of enemies comes along. A lot of them in here. So now I'm approaching the final part of the level, which is where you've got to fly under the radar, otherwise that happens to you. So somehow you've got to make your way along this thing, avoiding the skyscrapers and trying not to get hit by any rockets, which is rather tricky, and I've not managed it so far. Maybe this will be the time. Nope, maybe not. So that'll be game over for me, unfortunately. So anyway, in summary, very hard game, incredibly frustrating at times trying to shoot the enemies and get at the right height to shoot them, but nice graphics, nice sound, apart from the main ship, which looks a bit rubbish, and the bullet firing noises, which are a bit naff as well. So overall, pretty decent game, well worth the $1.99 I think, and definitely a serious challenge.